Today on Monkey Life, with another rescued marmoset due to be rehomed at the park, males Caesar and Gizmo could soon have female partners. But first, a minor operation is called for.
Give the two boys a vasectomy, and then everybody should be in male-female pairs by next week.
New living arrangements too for the Saki and squirrel monkeys, who are learning to coexist.
That would naturally encounter each other in the wild. So it's kind of a nice, natural setup having these guys running around together.
And a sticky challenge for the nursery orangutans, but they've got it licked. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 250 primates from 24 different species. At the park's hospital, local vet David Holler has just arrived, having been called in at short notice. He's here to see two male marmosets, Gizmo and Caesar, who currently live together. They both need a vasectomy, and the sooner the better, because tomorrow, Alison's off to Gloucester to collect a female marmoset called Angel.
For the last month or so, I've been speaking to a lady about a Jeffroy's marmoset that she keeps privately. Angel is estimated to be about 3 years old. They got her what they believe when she was only 3 months old. So again, a breeder and dealer selling an infant marmoset when it still should be with its mother and father.
The owner had two marmosets bought from a dealer for £1,400 each. But sadly, the male passed away a year ago, leaving Angel on her own. The family's circumstances have changed and they've had to move house, making it difficult to give Angel the care and attention she needs.
So there is no outside cage, there isn't a new companion, and rather than selling her back into the trade, they love and care for Angel and want the right thing to be done.
The park already has a female living on her own called Jangles. She's going to be paired up with Caesar. This means recent pet trade arrival Gizmo can couple up with Angel as soon as she's settled in. Both pairs will be of similar age. But before they can partner up, the boys need a vasectomy.
We don't need any more marmosets coming on. We want to save all of the space we have for other rescues and other marmosets in need. So David's very kindly come in quick smart today, give the two boys a vasectomy, and then everybody should be in male-female pairs by next week.
It's a quick surgical procedure. But performing the operation on a tiny primate can be tricky. And vet David has two to deal with today.
We've got to go in and find a very small bit of pipework and remove a very small section of that very small pipework. So it's a small and fiddly job, but it's worth doing because it's a very effective way of enabling him then to just carry on and be a male marmoset, have a great life, but without breeding.
Whenever one of the park's primates has a medical, the vets take the opportunity to give them an all-over health check. And David's keen to get a good look at the two marmosets. First up is Gizmo, who's weighed.
This is 360 grams.
He needs a little more anaesthetic gas before the procedure, and once David is satisfied he's stable, he can fully examine him.
All looking good.
Gizmo proves to be a healthy youngster, and David is happy to proceed with the vasectomy. First, he has to locate a small tube called the vas deferens, which carries the sperm from the testicles. It's not the first time he's performed the procedure on such a tiny animal.
There you go. We've done this before.
Once or twice now, yeah.
Once the tube is located, David ties it off before cutting it. The procedure is then repeated on the other testicle.
Cool.
The main incision is glued together, avoiding the need for stitches. The whole procedure takes less than 20 minutes. Next, David checks to see if Gizmo is microchipped.
Not found anything yet.
He quickly inserts one and tests it out.
Cool.
Gizmo is then returned to his travel box to recover. The whole procedure is repeated on Caesar, who also gets the all clear after a thorough health check. David is pleased with how it all went.
Very happy. Yeah, very smooth anaesthetics on both of them. He just woke up, has looked around, taken stock, and appears to have waited until he's quite steady before trying to stand up, which is absolutely the ideal. Yeah, couldn't ask for anything more. There he is. Hello, my friend.
Gizmo and Caesar will both have a few days to recover and ensure the vasectomy is successful before being introduced to their prospective partners. At the Siameang gibbon enclosure, primate care staff member Sarah is preparing breakfast for the pair. Along with some juicy oranges, Sam and Sasak are being given a rather unusual exotic fruit.
Today we've got rambutan for the Siameangs. Very cool because I don't think they've ever had it before. If they have, it's been a very long time ago. So rambutan is really cool because it's native to Southeast Asia, so it's something that they would find in the wild. Unusual looking fruit with a hard casing that's got these soft spikes all around, but once you crack it open, you expose sort of cherry-sized grape, as it were, quite tart in flavour, but very yummy. One of their favourites, actually, I think, out in the wild. And hopefully the Siameangs will be able to, well, they'll be able to get into the fruit, no problem. They've got strong teeth, they can crack it open, but whether they know what it is, that'll be the question.
To make things a little more interesting for the duo, Sarah is hiding some of the fruit in baskets and the remainder in a pulley feeder, suspended high up in the tree canopy. If the Siameangs want to sample a rambutan, they'll have to work for it.
It's a natural form of enrichment for them, which is really important. It's what their wild cousins would be eating. I mean, Sasak's very food motivated anyway, so I'm sure she'll eat whatever we sort of offer her. It's where the Sam can get his fair share as well. Are we ready?
Sam and Sasak have been waiting patiently in the tunnels. Time to let them out. They don't need an invitation. Checking out their surroundings before heading off in search of breakfast.
Yeah, I think they were very keen to get out. Never seen them move so fast.
Sam is first to the food, but he seems a bit flummoxed by the unusual fruit in the feeder. Sasak has no such issues. She investigates one of the baskets, foraging through the straw, eventually pulling out half an orange. Holding on with one arm, she carefully peels the orange using her teeth, which are perfectly designed for eating fruits with tough skin. Sam, who's often less adventurous than his partner, is first to try a rambutan. He also uses his sharp teeth to crack open the shell, before carefully peeling it away to get to the soft fruit. Rambutans are rich in nutrients, including vitamin C and potassium, and contain a lot of fibre, which helps to promote gut health. Sasak eventually decides it's time to try something new too, and selects the exotic fruit. She's usually pretty fixated when it comes to food, and likes to eat as much as she can, as fast as she can. But not today, thanks to Sarah's innovation.
A great way with these straw balls is actually slowing Sass down with her feeding, because usually she comes out and munches on as much and as quickly as possible. But this has actually slowed it down quite nicely. And they've both got their own straw balls to eat from. The great thing about having them on the movable rope is that they've got to concentrate on keeping their core body tight so that they have balance, but they can use one arm to hold on to and their feet as well, and then use perhaps the other arm to manipulate the enrichment item. Or bridge yourself across both ropes to keep yourself stable, as Sam just did.
It seems the park's Siameangs enjoy rambutans as much as their wild counterparts. And they set off to check out the other feeders for the exotic fruit. Sam and Sasak are a devoted pair. Siameang gibbons are known for their lifelong monogamous pairings. And these two are a great example.
Oh, they love being together. Absolutely inseparable. Yeah, you very rarely see them apart from one another, whether they're out in the enclosure eating or chilling out on the grass, grooming each other, and even in the playrooms or the back bedrooms, they'll have a nice snooze and a groom there. Yeah, they're never far from one another.
The orangutan nursery enclosure is being transformed with a smorgasbord of browse, fruit and nuts. Primate care staff member Katie is distributing the varied menu all around the outside area. Branches with plums still attached are placed up high, while other lip-smacking treats are positioned within easy reach. But the challenging indulgence of the day for the group of 5 is a honey-drizzled barrel Katie is preparing, before adding in a mixture of seeds, nuts and grapes which will stick to the honey. The contraption has numerous holes and the orangutans will have to come up with a plan to reach the goodies trapped inside.
They're extremely intelligent. It's always really nice to give them enrichment that really makes them use their brains a little bit and they have to think about. And this is a really natural behaviour for them to be doing as well. So this has got lots of holes in the side and hopefully it's going to encourage them to use their sticks through the holes in order to access the food.
Orangutans are extremely clever at working out how to manipulate objects. They're known to use sticks as tools to get at food in hard-to-reach places. The nursery gang have been watching Katie closely from the tunnel system connected to their enclosure.
We've had to be quite careful with how long the browse is, and we can only give them like the narrow stuff as well because they can do a lot with a stick. Oisin especially is really good with trying to figure out what she can get her hands on. She's been known to pull up like drain covers and try and get cleaning equipment, stuff like that. So yeah, we just have to be really careful, otherwise they'll use it as enrichment that we don't really want them to be enriching themselves with.
The enclosure is ready. Time to let the orangutans out. They've watched Katie prepare their unusual feast and are excited to investigate. Kyan goes straight to the barrel, pulling out the browse that's plugging the holes to reach the sticky honey inside. She uses her long, flexible fingers to scoop out some of the sticky treat. Rika opts to start with fresh browse, carefully avoiding the spines. An unripe medlar catches Hujan's attention, but he's not impressed and heads off in search of something more to his liking. Bulu is cheating, licking honey that seeped out of the holes in the barrel.
They're having a great time. You can see them going from one thing to another as well. They're not just focusing on one little bit. So yeah, I think they'll probably do the rounds, see what's available, and then decide what they're going to spend their time working on. Kyan has already figured out that if you pull the sticks out the bottom, then you can get the grapes and nuts falling out.
She's also worked out how to get more honey by using a stick, just like wild orangutans trying to fish out termites from a nest. Here comes Oisin. She's been unusually patient, letting the others have their turn at the barrel. But now she commandeers it, moving Kian on while she assesses the best way to reach the honey. The rest of the group can only watch and learn as Oisin monopolises the barrel using her favoured technique: leafy sticks which harvest more of the honey.
She loves things like that. She's incredibly clever with a stick, so she's the main reason that we have to be really careful when we do give them browse, because she will just use it to dismantle or get hold of anything that she can. She's normally quite good at sharing as long as they're not eating the exact thing that she wants to be eating. But yeah, she's really tolerant of the youngsters, which is why she's such a good member at the nursery. She does have her limits, though.
The team have put out a wide variety of food today. Browse is an important part of an orangutan's diet, and each tree type comes with its own composition of minerals and nutrients, as well as a lot of fibre. With so much to investigate and discover, this feast should keep them all occupied for the rest of the day. In the last few months, the small monkey team have been trialling various combinations in an effort to discover which species can contentedly coexist in the same house and enclosure. They've tried different permutations of the park's saki monkeys, squirrel monkeys, and the tamarins. Friction between the two squirrel monkey groups meant they needed to be split, resulting in the new living arrangements.
So at the moment we have the sakis living with the squirrel monkeys. We tried the sakis with the tamarins. They were fairly ambivalent about Red, but they had an issue with Mo. Not sure why her specifically, but they weren't very happy with her being in their space and they were doing a bit of chasing, so we had to call it time on there. But we put the 3 squirrel monkeys in with the sakis and we weren't quite sure how they'd be together, if there'd be a bit of tension, but it's actually worked out really well. They seem to be living really happily together.
Today, the team are going to give the newly formed group a treat, which should appeal to both species, and see how the new dynamic works. They're hanging pomegranates and coconuts still in their shells around the outdoor enclosure. A small section has been removed from the pomegranates and the coconuts have been cut in half, so the team can insert live Morio worms.
We expect the squirrel monkeys will get most excited about the Morio worms. The sakis tend to eat a lot more fruits in the wild than the squirrels do, so they should be excited in theory about the pomegranates, hopefully. And it's just good to have something different to come out to. It's good to have something to keep the whole group of them busy and active and doing things, and it's an excuse for them to come out and enjoy the lovely sunshine.
Hannah opens up, and it's the energetic squirrel monkeys who lead the way, charging out in a race to see what's new. The sight of live insects sends them into a frenzy, and they rush around grabbing as many as they can, as quickly as they can. Lopez even eats them on the go. The 3 squirrel monkeys show a definite preference for the live insects, ignoring the hanging fruit for now. Next out are the saki monkeys, bounding into the enclosure. There's a 10-year age gap between 7-year-old Neva and her older partner Desmond. But it's not obvious from the way they both speedily negotiate their path across the branches. Desmond puffs himself up in an attempt to demonstrate to the squirrel monkeys that he's in charge. One big leap, and he almost lands on poor Lucille, before chasing off Lopez, who's about to tuck into a pomegranate. But it's all for show, perhaps an attempt to impress Neva. Things soon quieten down while everyone tucks into their favourite treat without any fuss. Sakis are frugivores. Their diet consists mainly of fruit and nuts, so today's offering of pomegranate and coconut fits the bill. In the wild, they supplement their food with leaves, flowers and insects. Squirrel monkeys, on the other hand, are omnivores, eating primarily fruit and insects, with the latter making up the majority of their diet.
These two are actually a really good mix of species. They're both South American, particularly from the rainforests in Brazil, and they are species that would naturally encounter each other in the wild. There's quite a few South American species that would see each other, that have territories that overlap, so things like squirrel monkeys, saki monkeys, also capuchins. They do occasionally run into each other in the wild. So it's kind of a nice natural setup having these guys running around together. The sakis and the squirrels have similar diets, but the squirrels are much more motivated by insects, whereas the sakis really like things like nuts. They're much better at getting into tough-shelled nuts because they've got really, really long canine teeth that help get the edges of the shells off and get into the nuts. They also have different dexterity with their hands as well. So the squirrel monkeys have got really dexterous little hands and fingers. So they're really good at ripping out all of the seeds, whereas the sakis have got very, very long fingers. So they're really good at sort of prying stuff loose, but they're not quite as dexterous with the squirrels as grabbing sort of handfuls of things. So they're sort of a little bit more of a measured approach and better at sort of prying things out, whereas the squirrels are much more efficient at grabbing lots of stuff all at once.
Their differing tastes and skill sets appear to make for an ability to coexist without much friction, which is what the team were hoping for. Desmond and Neva, who both love their food, are happily sharing the same coconut. And the squirrel monkeys, having exhausted the supply of grubs, are tackling the hanging pomegranates, with Logan also trying to bite off some coconut. Steph is pleased with how it's all gone today.
So the whole group has come out and they've enjoyed what we've put out today. Everybody's been straight in at the insects, at the pomegranates. Everybody seems really happy. And it's just really nice to see all 5 of them out in the sunshine, all busy, all active, and all really enjoying the treats today.
Next time on Monkey Life, Alison collects Angel, a marmoset in need of a new home and a new partner.
We'll see how she goes. She's an experienced lady. Gizmo's a lovely lad, so hopefully they're going to make a good pairing, but we'll have to wait and see.
And hold on tight, woolly monkey Ava and baby Zuri enjoy some icy treats.